Olé, ahí estoy. Lucy, hola, hello, hi guys. Oh, awesome, hola. A lot of people joining me. How are you guys? How was your day? Well, or your morning, it depends. It's 9 p.m. here in Spain. As you can see, it's still daylight. Sunset will be in a short while. And oh, there's a lot of people here. Okay, so in a few minutes, I will introduce our guest this week. But first, of course, I want to welcome everyone to this new guides talk, this new wonderful activity. We do it every Thursday at 7 GTM, and every week we invite some guides, some member of World License Tour Guides, and in a certain way we help you traveling a little bit. And so I would like to thank you to be here again, and I'm very excited for the interview that we have today, but not yet. Give me a few seconds. First of all, I would like to thank everyone for the very, very warm reception of our previous talk. It was the first one for us, okay? Our guest was the lovely Lucy, tour guide from Tuscany, La Toscana in Italy. It was a very interesting interview. So if you missed it, if you missed it, you find it in World License Tour Guides feed, okay, as an IGTV, okay? Now, this week, we left Italy, we left Tuscany, and we're about to leave Europe. So we are traveling to another continent. We are going to America. It will be a long flight, well, for me, for example. And concretely, we are traveling to Arequipa, Peru, where we will meet another wonderful tour guide. Will be our colleague Mauricio. So I think that he's somewhere over there, and I will invite him. As I was saying, it will be a very exciting interview for me. Never been in Peru. I know really, really a little about Peru, so I'm looking forward to ask questions to Mauricio. There he is. Hola.
Hola, ¿cómo están? Hello.
Muy bien. Welcome on board, Mauricio. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm very excited, a bit nervous. It's the first time I have this kind of interviews, but I'm very happy because, well, we are working for World License Tour Guides to be a bigger platform for everybody and guides in the world. I'm very happy.
Exactly. So, Mauricio, may I ask you please to try to, I don't know, maybe come closer or something because I don't see you very clear now. Ahora sí. Uy,
Better.
perfecto. Ahora sí. There's some problem with the light, maybe. What time is it in Peru right now? It's lunchtime or something, right?
It's lunchtime, yes. Even right now, I'm a restaurant. I decided to come here and ask a favor to some friends in a very good restaurant, Tío Darío, in Arequipa, where they have ceviche. You know, it's a very good
Yes.
uh, dish and typical from here. And that's why I move a little bit because I don't know if you can see. It's the Misty volcano in the now in the screen. That's the Misty volcano, the highest, well, one of the important volcanoes we have here in Arequipa.
So, almuerzo con vista, lunch with views, we may say.
Yes.
It's a beautiful one.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's something.
go on, please. Go on.
It's something
Go
good.
ahead.
No, it's something not always you can have in Arequipa. I mean, we have a very beautiful views and very good food. And if you mix both, it's very good.
Yes, absolutely. You enjoy your lunch even more. So before I start with all the questions that I have written, but also in my mind, okay, because I have a lot. I was just saying, Peru seems to be an amazing place. I've, just started knowing Peru, well, concretely Arequipa, for example,
Mhm.
through your pictures, the posts that you are have been doing with us in World License Tour Guides. But now it's time for me to ask questions about it. And before we start with it, I would like to tell to all our audience, all people that are joining us, that if you have any question or any comment or anything that you would like to know, please feel free to ask. I will just apologize because sometimes you write too fast and I cannot read. So if I miss any question and it's a very important one you want to ask, please repeat it, maybe. Okay? Now, oficialmente, let's start. Okay? So,
So,
Mauricio, with the beautiful Volcano restaurant and ceviche and your lunchtime in
mhm.
Arequipa, I would like to know something about you, but not as a tour guide, like your background. What have you been doing in your life before becoming a tour guide?
I'm from Arequipa. This is a city over the 2,350 meters above sea level. And well, in my backgrounds, I can tell you my dad is, well, now he's not more a police officer, but he was. That's why I was thinking to be a police officer in any moment, to be a priest, or to be a lawyer. But
Ooh.
I couldn't get any of those because, well, my way to think is different, and my look as well doesn't help to be a police officer or maybe a priest, but now it's quite hard.
Why not?
Yeah. Because here are more strict, no verb. That's why once people look at me, once I used to visit my father in the police station, they says, "That's your son?" He used to say, "Yes, he's my son," and look at me like, well, long hair, beard, piercings is not that common here. You know, it's machismo still in Peru quite big,
Yes.
and in the police army, of course, is bigger. But well, I come from a family in these places. It's a mix. My family comes from the Colca Valley and as well from Lima. And now,
Mm-hmm.
well, you know, the whole country is a big mix. We cannot say we
Yes.
are just from one place. We are a mix. And of course, I have a brother, younger one. My mom is secretary, but I always try to do different kind of things, learn some things. But it's very curious because when I was at the school, uh, I had a teacher, yeah, English teacher, and I was not too good in English, but not too bad. It means I can pass the first year in the high school. But for any reason, and I think because my teacher wanna make some money with me because we used to go in summer to some extra classes or summer
Mm-hmm.
classes. He well give me a bad grade. I couldn't well pass the first year in the high
Mm-hmm.
school, and of course to I went to the classes in summer. Was
Whoa.
very bad in that moment, yeah, because I can understand why I had a bad grade. But after I noticed that was for that reason. What is curious is that I never thought that I start to make money or enjoy my life more than before, like a tour guide. It's mean guiding. And I guide
Yes.
more in English than in Spanish, which is even more curious. Yeah. But well,
Happens.
it's something happened with me. It's quite funny. And well, I never thought that English, something that I can say, not hate, but I didn't like start to make me, well, the opportunity to know more about the war because the people
Mm-hmm.
come here not only visit your place as well, they part of their culture and all that. Yeah.
Ay, te pierdo. I see you. What's going on? Maybe not very good connection. Can you hear me, Mauricio?
Yes, I can hear you. Was a
Okay,
little
but
bit lag. but it's good
Okay, now
connection.
I see you.
Yeah,
Okay, so since I've seen pictures that you sent, as I said, as a content, wonderful pictures, by the
thank you.
way, to World Licensed Tour Guides for our daily post. Well, they are from different places. So I know that Peru is huge. I think it's like
Yeah,
3 times bigger than Spain. Okay, and
yeah.
Spain is big, but Peru must be huge. So, like, where do you guide? Just Arequipa or anywhere else?
Well, I almost 16 years like a guide. It's mean I had the opportunity to guide. Normally, you start in your region, Arequipa, the city.
Yes.
After you, well, go to the Colca Valley, which is a destination 165 kilometers from Arequipa, which is
Mm-hmm.
a valley with a canyon. It's very beautiful. And of course, with the time, companies notice about your profile, how you used to do everything, your feeling with the places and with the people, with your
Mm-hmm.
guests. I don't like to call clients. I like to call guests
Guest.
because they
Yes.
are my guests. And
Yes.
well, I started to have groups start in Lima, the capital of Peru. You go down in the south to Nazca, Paracas, the Nazca lines, for example. In Paracas, we have a national reserve, which is
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. And after, well, you continue to the south, Arequipa, where we have, well, the Baroque style, the volcanoes, like you can see right behind me, where you can learn more because Arequipa is considered a unique city. It's like an Spanish city, but it's not in Spain, yeah, because the
What do you
style.
mean?
It's very colonial.
Okay.
Arequipa looks very much like a city in Spain, but well, we are in South America. We were part of Spain in a moment, and well,
Yes.
the
Yes.
viceroyalty.
Yes.
And after you continue to Colca Valley, the canyon, the condors is one of the few places where you can find condors in the world.
Yes.
After you go to Titicaca Lake, which is a huge lake, quite over the 4,000 meters, very beautiful. And of course, after you have, well, the way to Cusco, where
Mm-hmm.
is the capital of the empire. Machu Picchu is quite closer, and well, I do that kind of tours every sometimes. Yeah,
Okay,
but
but mostly,
mainly
mostly you
Arequipa.
are in your city. Because I
Yeah,
I read that Arequipa is a UNESCO site too. It
it
has a
is.
lot of
It is.
beautiful heritage churches and oh, in fact, we have Adventurous Travel Guide that says the most Spanish city of Peru, Arequipa. It's really beautiful.
It
So
is.
I've read a couple of questions. One was about COVID-19, another one was about food. To those who ask it, just wait a few minutes. We will talk about food and COVID-19 in a while. Okay,
Yeah.
and so we said Arequipa, we said Cusco, you mentioned all the places. So you're ready, you're prepared to go almost everywhere around you. So you can, I mean, you can provide a complete, full, 100% experience to travelers that want to explore Peru. So both, I would say, nature, landscapes, hiking, and also history, architecture, so monuments, right? Muy
Food,
bien,
yes.
muy bien. I'm so jealous. Te envidio mucho because I'm so bad with nature. I'm scary of everything. I'm afraid of any type of bugs, so it would be impossible for me to do something like that. Okay, so now since you said that well, you like your job, it was something that came to you by chance due to your English bad marks, and today English is most used language. If you had to say one good aspect of being a tour guide, but also a bad one, if there's any bad aspect of being a tour guide.
Well, I think one of the important ones, or the more important, is that your mind start to learn more and more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, architects know about architecture and some other things, but in special that one, engineers the same, chefs in their own way. I mean, every people have a profession who give
Mm-hmm.
you understanding about some things, knowledge about some things. Of course, you can learn more, but in our case, we have to learn about different things. Of course, not to be a professional, but you have to catch more and more knowledge
Yes.
along the time because you never know. You have a chef. The other day you have an architect. And in another moment you have just a couple with children, and you have to take care of the children as well.
And
And
tell
that's the
tales,
more beautiful
yes.
thing. You learn a lot of things, and you can as well learn from them to do some other things in your own country or in your own life. And the bad aspect maybe is that in any moment you can't continue guiding, because, well, you cannot continue traveling too long. Uh, Sadly, new generations come, and sometimes, sadly, companies prefer people who is cheaper, uh, with not too much experience, like we have, and all that is some of the bad things. Maybe as well that we are not exactly with our family in important days, because if you have a
Yes.
tour in your birthday or the
Festivities
birthday
or
of your mom,
everything, right?
yes,
Right, that's true.
yes,
Like we go like I would say on like on the contrary, when for everyone is weekend, is a national day or whatever. For us, it's the most important day for work. And we have days off maybe on Monday or Wednesday. That is true. It's sad, but
yes,
I think we get used to it anyway. And I
yes,
agree with you when you talk about the competition, the unfair, not loyal competition. But I believe, well, in Sevilla it happens the same. Well, like I think there are like 400 active tour guides in one city, only in Seville, which is not that big for so many guides. And I think that the only way to get rid of competition is believing in yourself, improve yourself, learn more, be ready for everything, be ready to offer the best service and experience ever, and you will get rid of any competition. It's not a matter of lowering prices like someone does. I think that's the easy way to to have kind of priority. But anyway, vamos a ver. Now, well, I like this question. In fact, when I was thinking of the questions, for my guests, this was like, whoa, this is the best one. So, do you remember any good moment, any nice, funny, happy episode in your career as a tour guide?
I have some different ones. Some of
Choose the best
the,
one.
well, I have to tell you a couple. One is very short, and is when
Okay.
people can see the condor, or they can see Machu Picchu, and they says, I have this in my mind for like 50 years, 60 years, and they start to not cry, but you can see how the tears come out from their eyes, and it's very excited and emotional. But as well, I remember one is very funny. I was in Lima.
Mm-hmm.
We pick a group from the airport to go to the hotel,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the persons says, Mauricio, come. I'm not feeling that good. I start to ask him something. Maybe you are not feeling well because you have any problem or something like that. And talking, we have always to know more about our people, especially when you are
Yes.
going to be with them for 10, 12, 15 days.
Yes.
And this person says, I think it's the altitude. I think it's the altitude. And I start to, like, I try to avoid the smile because we were in Lima. Lima is at the sea level. But sometimes people have the idea Peru is in the highlands, and
Yes.
their minds
Everything.
are like thinking about that. And it says, no, I don't think it's that, because, I will tell you a secret. We are at the sea level. And she just laughed and says, it should be the fly or something like that. And I try to avoid everybody
To
hear or
hear it, of
listen,
course.
because it could be, but I remember at the end, I tell them to the whole group, because we start to be like a family, good friends.
Yes.
And was very funny because, well, was not the altitude at the sea level, no altitude.
Oh my gosh.
But yes, and that's the problem. Sometimes
This
people are
is
thinking they
awesome.
come to the highlands, and yeah, of course, after you can feel a little bit, but I have some tips to help to my guests with this kind of things happen. It's over
It's like
3,000.
you have to avoid letting them feel like stupid in some way when they say something, or yes, yes, but because they're saying something that is completely untrue or whatever, to not let them feel ridiculous. Maybe, oh, that's funny.
Oh,
Probably one of the
you
funniest
know, yeah, we have to
facts
be
I've ever heard.
polite sometimes in some things,
Yes.
and in other you have to be very clever to take decisions to respond something. Especially the first, because in the first hours, the first moments is when you have the first feedback, and it can make your tour be very good or
Or
start
very
to have
bad.
with some problems. Yes,
Yes, yes, that the
yes.
beginning is what makes a difference. I was told once by a senior tour guide that helped me starting in this. He said, you have, when you start a tour, it doesn't matter if it's a short, a long tour, or what are you going to visit, you have 10 minutes, first 10 minutes, to understand who are you talking with, you will spend your time with. Well, in my case, it used to be short walking tours, like 3 4 hours, no more than that. So from the moment when you meet your guest at a hotel, airport, or whatever, also considering their mood, if they're tired, they have jet lag or something like that, you have 10 minutes to listen, understand, analyze, their personality, and see how to behave with them. It is not that easy. It's not that easy, I think.
Yeah,
Sometimes you can be wrong just looking at their faces. You can think that they are very serious people, then maybe they are lovely or nice. And regarding this thing, any good any good moment in your career, something that you would like to forget or not repeat again?
uh, no, I always try to make my best job, and I think something good about me is that I try to do my one tour different than the other, because
Yes,
people
of
is different,
course.
and you never know. And something I like is I try to make people smile. It's like, yeah, like the first 10 minutes, if you can get people to smile in the beginning, it can change. It can change because they feel different. Sometimes the smile make they relax a little bit, and you start to have a best
Okay,
contact feedback.
okay, but tell me, how do you do to make them smile? So like jokes or what? How do you do it?
Oh, depends. Depends of the moment. Depends of the moment. I some like a guide. Sometimes you have some jokes are quite um, common in some
Mm-hmm.
places. Yeah, but depends. I something I have is that I try to be quick, and in
Mm-hmm.
that moment, if they say something, I respond with something funny, or I don't know, I do something, I respond, or I ask something which is funny, and I try to play with that.
Yes, of course. It's not always the same. I was asking you this because that's something that I try to do normally to make people feel comfortable sometimes with the jokes or something. But it took me a long while to understand that jokes or funny things are different in countries. So
Yes.
something, and people have different sense of humor, for example. So it happened to me many times to tell a joke, expected people to laugh and be happy the rest of the day, but they were from one place where that wasn't a joke. That's why I asked you, what do you use to learn from you and maybe do the same as you do?
Yeah.
Now, luckily, I learned more or less. But of course, as you said, it's always a surprise. Where are your guests from normally?
Well, if I talk about the last years, I had people from United States,
Hmm.
from UK, Spain as well. A lot of people from
Hmm.
Spain come to Peru, yes. Sometimes people from Russia, from France, Italy, because I don't speak all those languages, but I can speak English, or they
Yes.
speak English, and it's
Yes.
like the universal language.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. Hmm.
that's why
Right.
guests from Ukraine, from different from Asia, sometimes from China, Hong Kong,
Mm.
uh, different parts of the world. Japanese, very few ones, but I can say I receive people from different parts of the world, even from South America.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was about to ask it. The Spanish speakers, where they are from normally? You said Spain, and what else?
Uh, Spain, they used to be Spain, Argentina, Brazil, well, they are Portuguese, Colombia sometimes, Mexico,
Uh-huh.
Mexico. Those are like the main ones. But I have from
Okay.
Uruguay, I had from South Africa as well, New
Whoa.
Zealand, yeah, Australia. Yeah, really, with all these years, you start to know. And sometimes when people says a country is very rare, I says, "Ah, it's the first time. Wow, nice to meet you." Or, well, I'm very nice to meet
Nice.
everybody. Come to
Nice.
Peru, to my city, but yes, different parts of the world.
Oh, that's lovely. I forgot because you said it at the beginning. How long have you been doing this?
16 years with COVID break.
Well,
Yeah, 16. See,
16. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. You have a lot of
yes.
experience. Perform, but you look very young.
I'm 39. I'm 39.
So you're young. 16. You said 16, 1 6, right?
Yes, 1 6.
So 39 16. I don't know. You were very, well, 23
24.
years
I
old.
start 24. I have to start
Okay.
before, but I didn't have my mind very clear
Okay.
to
Okay.
say this
Okay.
need to
I
be a
see.
guy.
Okay, I see. So
Yeah.
that was at the age when I started as a tour leader. So it was like, ooh, okay, muy bien. 24 is not that, it's not that young. That's
Yeah.
okay. That's okay. Muy bien.
Yeah.
So, well, someone asked about restrictions with COVID because maybe he or she, I don't remember, is interested on traveling to Peru soon or as soon as possible. So, would you like to tell us, well, two things. How's the situation right now for travelers? But especially what I want to know is how was your lockdown or your dark period or the pandemic time for you?
Well, for me, it was very hard. We used to be in the field, traveling with people,
Hmm.
receiving claps or nice comments of your people, your guest. You make friends, and your activity just stop. For us, for me, it was very hard. Uh, I can say that I was depressed, but I really can do what I have,
Hmm.
what I want, and was hard. I couldn't just because some people says you can restart your life doing some other things. I couldn't really do it. Something for me was like a big block, and it's blocked my mind in different ways. Not at all, because well, my wife she is a tour guide as well, but
Mm-hmm.
she's doing some other business like cake designer, and I
Mm-hmm.
start to help her. Now we have ferias. That's what is the main income now. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I do tours with locals, just Arequipeñan people, Peruvian. But was hard for me. Was not what I expect. I never thought that we are going to pass for something like that. Was hard. Now it's getting better. I can say that people start to come, but the situation in Peru is not that stable because
Mm.
we are in the second round of the elections. We
Oh.
have to choose between the less wars. Yeah, like
As
in different
usual.
parts in South America, usually in different places, yes. And well, we are very slow about the vaccines. Now the
Mm.
vaccines are for the first line and for the elder people,
Oh,
special. And well, not too much people was vaccinated yet. We
I
expect
see.
they find a way to vaccinate people who is in tourism, like that. The
Yes.
countries are already they got the vaccine. Well, they can visit places like Peru. But was hard for me. The situation in Peru was not the best. Sadly, we don't have good records about COVID. But well, it's getting better now. People start to do their lives. almost in a normal way, always with mask to mask or
Yes.
facial protection. But
Yes.
life continues, and well, it's part of life. Keep
So,
moving.
well, of course, I agree with you. And you see that a lot of people decide to change, to look for some other job, and you say, "Oh, it's impossible. I cannot do it. This is my job." But concretely about COVID-19, are the borders open now in Peru for
We
travelers?
have borders open.
Okay.
Yes, we start to receive because in the beginning, the travelers, people come to Peru, have to be in quarantine for 2 weeks. Normally,
Oh.
it's the time you have of vacations, and
Or
people
less,
are gonna
maybe.
travel. Yes, yes, of course, they are gonna travel just to be in a hotel, even if it's the more luxurious hotel in the world. They don't want to
They want
stay
to
two
see
weeks.
things, they want to see places, of
Yes,
course.
of course. That's why it's changed. People start to come here. I start to find more people, but well, it's not the number of people we used to receive.
Of
Yeah,
course. Quite less
yeah,
than that.
over around 3 millions, as the records used to say, in any moment. Now we don't have much.
Just wait for better times. I guess it's been a very,
Yes,
very
yes.
so sorry.
Cross fingers.
And when did you start with lockdown in
We
Peru?
stopped, I think, around
Start
September. We start in March.
March
March
2020.
2020. Yes, in
Okay.
March 16, about that. Yes.
Okay, like more or less like in Spain. So it's been more than 1 year already. Ay, por favor.
Yeah.
No puedo, no puedo. So, okay, and I have another question. Since you mentioned, I have time for it. Yes, I do. Since you mentioned many places, and I've seen many pictures, I've seen many condors, beautiful pictures of condors, and many
Thank you.
beautiful landscapes, and you taking pictures and sitting. So, which is your favorite place? In this case, you can choose just one. Okay, among the places where you guide, which is the favorite one?
Ooh, it's hard.
Consider that if you say this, it will be like a suggestion. So all people that will come and hire you as a tour guide will ask you to guide them there.
Yeah. Well, I can say, well, Arequipa is my hometown, the volcanoes, the architecture, the weather. It's from where I come from. That's why I think it's my favorite. But once you go to Titicaca Lake, to Cusco, Machu Picchu, even I didn't mention the north because I don't know too much the north, but there are another cultures there. It's really hard. Peru, it's a place where you can spend 1 month traveling the jungle. It means it's very hard. It's, I think, one of the hardest questions of this because every moment make different feelings, and you feel different once you get to a place, and every time is different. I can't stop to visit places because I feel different. It's you reconnect with that place. But I can say
Yes.
one place now, Arequipa.
So I will make it a little bit more, a little bit easier. Okay. Cities or nature? Urban, are you a urban or a natural, a country tour guide?
Both. Uh,
He
it's
will kill
Peru,
me after this.
It's Peru. Here in 1 hour you can be in the nature. You can see the condors in like 3.5, 4 hours from here are the area of the canyon and the condors. And you can visit Cusco. It's beautiful, the cathedral, the constructions. But after you can go to some places to do trekkings, and it's beautiful. Puno, the city, you take the boat and you go into the lake and you feel like you are in the ocean. But after you think it's, wow, it's almost 4 meters above sea level. What a feeling, the sky. It's hard. It's both are hard now. It's very
I
hard, but
see. I see how much you love all those places just looking at your face. That's funny. And I
Yeah,
have, Pamela said the jungle. She loved the jungle. Then I just read comments by Abderrahim, that's the founder of World License to Guides, and Sarah, our dear colleague from Scotland. They agreed with me. They said that you are a very good photographer. Muy
thank you.
bien.
I
Yes,
am
you
a
are.
amateur, but I I I try to. I'm trying to improve. Any moment I would like to travel around the world taking pictures. Of course, it's one of my dreams.
Oh, but don't stop being a tour guide, please, because you look to be a very, you seems to be a very good one. So
Thank
don't
you.
quit your job as a tour guide. Bien.
No.
So now, any like imagine that my next trip will be in Peru. Okay, I will land. Well, I suppose from Madrid. I will land in Lima. So, do you have any suggestion for me and so for travelers that are thinking about Peru for the next holidays? Something that they should know and should do.
Mm, well, I recommended come to Peru and visit. Food is very good. Lima, they have some of the best restaurants now in South America as well. Well,
Mm.
now it's quite hard because of the situation. A place which is closer to Lima and you can visit normally is Caral. It's a place where the
Caral.
culture is very important, but it's quite new or with discovering because it's not too much promotion, but it's very interesting. Even I didn't know yet, but I found it's very important culture or part of our backgrounds. It's something are going to be very, very important. And in every place you go, you have to be careful of, well, damage the nature. Most of the people come are very respectful with the nature, with the places,
Mm.
and try to avoid or to take services in the streets because sometimes once you take services in the streets, I mean tours in the
Mm-hmm.
streets, they don't follow the rules. It means they don't normally take guides, licensed guides, or the services after are not trustable like you
I
expect.
see. I understand.
That's
So,
something
like
I
to
can
book.
recommend it to take with a guide, much better,
Uh
or
huh.
tour agency or agencies as well.
So, like
Both will
booking
work.
advance or something, you mean, right?
Yes, in advance sometimes it's much better because you already planify your itinerary. If you come in
Yes.
the adventure, check in advance the places you want to visit, the people offer the services, transportations maybe, or guides, or agencies, I don't know, but avoid to take the services in the streets. In Peru, you can have good experiences. I can say it's too bad, but I recommend don't do it because you take the risk to have problems along the tour or with even your money.
That's a very, very good suggestion. And well, La Petite Sardine, I think she's took out from Lisbon. Am I right? She says that Peru is on her bucket list. She says
Well,
it must be so beautiful. Do you
it
agree
is.
with her?
I agree. Our
And
planet is
so,
very beautiful, but Peru have some beautiful, very beautiful places. You have to be here to really enjoy, to live the feeling, the adventure, the
I feel it.
Peru.
I feel it. Just looking at you.
Yeah.
So look, Ricardo Tour Guide is asking. Well, I was also thinking about it. There was a bird around making a lovely sound. Do you know? Can you see it or tell us which kind of bird it is? We heard it very loud a few minutes ago, but now we still hear it.
Well, maybe it's because there is a background music, but if it's not that, should
Oh, it was
be
a
a kind
bird. It
of
was a
bird.
bird.
We have in this place you can find some pigeons, yeah, pigeons normally, and a small bird. I forgot the name right now, but should be some of those. We don't have too
Okay.
much birds of prey here. In some few places, yes. but not much.
Not a condor, right?
No, but once a condor appeared in a place closer to the volcano. But
Really?
yes, but it's very rare. It's very rare. We have,
But I
yeah,
see from your pictures that you are quite good in finding where the condors are, or like, because people sometimes, when we travel and we are not very used to nature, animals, we go to natural parks and we think that we are into a zoo and animals will be waiting for us, to be seen and taken pictures. So I imagine that if someone is in a tour with you and you describe a condor or any other beautiful animal that they can find there, maybe they expect to see the condor. They're like, okay, when is the condor coming? I want to see the condor. You're talking about a condor. Where is the condor? But it's not that easy to find it, to see one.
not really. I mean, where I go in the Colca Valley, there are some spots where you can find condors, but it's not like the train or the bus. You wait for them and
Yes.
at 8 should pass. No. With condors, you have to know about the season, how the wind is, because they take
Yes.
advantage of the thermal winds. I mean, if it's too cold, it's not the best, and in some seasons, it's not the best. To find condors too early, sometimes it's better early. But one of the reasons my nickname in Instagram, it's Condorman.
Yes.
Yeah, that's quite funny because it started when I was a kid. I broke my nose. I was a bigger, and they used to kidding me about if I go to the beach, don't do the backstroke. Why? I says if people are gonna run away, why? Because they are gonna think a shark is coming. And in the beginning was not that
Really?
funny. Yes, was not that funny. But after I understood that it's part of me, and I started to kidding. And when I start to guide, I used to go to the Colca Valley, and every time we go to the Colca Valley, it says, I kidding, yeah, with some friends, some other mates, or my guest, and says, in 10
Yes.
minutes, the condors are going to appear. And maybe 9 or 11 appear. And people says, Mauricio, how do you know? They are my cousins. They are my cousins. And little by little, they say, then you are Condor Man. In the beginning, it was because my nose, yeah, but after it's because I'm very lucky with condors. I know some places, and sometimes I know people went to the Colca Valley and they couldn't find. And I go with a couple, we take some extra time, we go to a different place. And I saw once, I remember in December 28 in 2013, 14, like 100 condors.
Whoa.
No, I'm lying. We're like 60 condors.
Okay, that's a
60
lot
condors.
anyway. I've never seen a condor in
Yeah.
my life. So are you the condor's whisperer? Like in the movie?
No.
How was that in Spanish? El hombre que suspiraba a los cóndors, we can say in Spanish, kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
So, well, before, I finished with the last question. If you remember, someone had asked about at the very beginning about food. What should we eat? Not very touristic. We are always afraid of touristic things. I don't know why, because tourists deserve to eat like anyone else. But what should we eat in Peru, or better, in Arequipa? Which dish? Any typical food?
A tough chili pepper. Tough
Chili
chili
pepper.
pepper. Yes, chili pepper is spicy. It's
Mm-hmm.
red and rounded one,
Mm-hmm.
like pimenton, yeah. But this is spicy. But people take all that and stuff with meat, onions, cheese, milk, rice in sometimes, and they serve with,
Uh-huh.
they put in the oven, cook it, and they
Uh-huh.
serve with potatoes or potatoes casserole, which is a slice of
Uh-huh.
potatoes, cheese, meat. That's very good.
Wow, delicious.
Uh, Soups are very good. Shrimps, we have shrimps closer to Arequipa, are very good. It's quite exotic food. Alpaca meat. Alpaca meat.
No. Do you eat alpaca? No.
It's very
No.
healthy, yeah.
No.
It's, yes, they are cute.
Really?
They have that's why the alpacas are very important in the Andes.
Yes, I
Meat,
know.
fiber, and are, yeah. For example, there is a restaurant I recommend, which is the same chain of this one, Zigzag. They have a
Hmm.
very good alpaca meat.
I don't know if I will be able to eat an alpaca. I see the face of an alpaca in my, in my mind. They're so cute, so sweet. Probably the cutest animal ever seen.
Yeah,
Anyway, just
they
joking.
are.
So, you asked, you said the shrimp. So, how far is the coast from Arequipa?
110 kilometers from here is the coast.
It's not much. It's not much.
Yeah,
Bien, bien, bien.
but the
Okay.
streams we get from the river.
Oh,
That's why are exotic,
oh,
because are not
oh.
from the ocean. It's from the river. That's why it's different and it's very very nice.
Oh, never tried. Well, you know what? I will book as soon as I can. There's a Peruvian restaurant near here, well, named Nafka. Okay, and I've been there several times. I've tried ceviche and some other, traditional popular dish, but I will see if I find some of those that you mentioned. Not alpaca, of course. I will never eat an alpaca, but anyway. Now, Mauricio, last question. A very, very important one. A tour guide, but also a traveler, or in your case, a photographer. So, as soon as we will be allowed to travel, where would you like to go?
I would like to go to visit Titicaca Lake, Machu Picchu, and Cusco. I really feel I need to visit those places. Of course, the Colca Valley. I have my first tour. I hope it's not changed to the
Hmm.
Colca Valley in the next 1.5 week, because I received some reserves but no tours. Really, they canceled. But I have, it's mean I can go first to those places where I be connected with the condors, with the canyon, with the Mother Earth, Pachamama. But those places I think are some of the places I want to go first. After, of course, once I start to make money, I would like to visit the whole world. We have a beautiful planet. People don't take care of
Yes,
our
we do.
planet.
Yes, we
They are
do.
not thinking about traveling too much sometimes because they are thinking about make money. But once you pass away, you only take memories with you. No
Yes.
cars, no houses. It's mean travel. And if you take a tour, a licensed tour guide, much better.
Absolutely. You will have the best experience of your life with a licensed tour guide. So, our time is over. But you know what? Now, besides pictures of condors and beautiful landscapes, I'm glad I could know something more about you. It's, as I always say, it's funny because I talk to World Lessons to Guide members. I see their pictures, but I don't see their faces moving. Now I can see yours as well. It's been an absolute pleasure being with you tonight, well, or this afternoon in your case, Mauricio.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to add anything else before I say goodbye to all the audience. You have your minute.
Well, first I want to say thank you very much to World Licensed Tour Guides because give us this opportunity to be connected with other guides in the world, which is very important and it's quite new. I want to say thanks to the people which look at us because they can share sometimes with some other people. And some
Mm-hmm.
of my guests are as well maybe watching. I couldn't read all of them, but I'm very
Mm,
happy because they give us the experience we have now. And that's very important.
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I'm very glad with the universe, with the Pachamama, with God. And I hope it's finished soon. I mean, the situation happened in the whole world for all the people passed away and for the new generations come and have to remember that we are very vulnerable, but we have to take advantage of our lives once we can do it. Yeah, and thank you, Anna, because well, you are doing a very good job doing these things, interviews and these lives. It's my first time. I'm not that nervous like in the beginning, but I'm very happy to be like this. yeah, it's very good. Thank you very
You
much.
did a great job. A great
Gracias.
job. It's been beautiful. So, for to all our friends who joined us, in 1 week, next Thursday, we will travel again somewhere. I can only say that we're not going too far from Peru. Well, far, but not very, very far. So it will be a surprise. If you want to know where World License Tour Guide is going to travel next week, you have to pay attention to our stories and post. It will be on Thursday at 7 GTM. Okay, and if you want to watch again this interview with our friend and colleague Mauricio, you will see it in a few minutes in our feed in IGTV section. Now, done. Se acabó. Hemos terminado. Thank you,
Está bien, muchas
Mauricio,
gracias.
and thank you, everyone. Un besito. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye. All the best.